to share some of the things that a lot of you mentioned when I asked you what you thought of when you hear this word, because I think it can be so intimidating, but there's so many great things that we can do now to just help us feel better overall. So some of the things that you guys said were just amazing. So I wanted to start with those. With mindful eating, that all attention and focus is given to eating and enjoying your food and having choices. I thought this was so great that instead of having rigidity and restriction, we have flexibility with our nutrition. Eating slowly, tasting and savoring your food, filling my plate thoughtfully to meet my goals, thinking about what I'm going to eat rather than just grabbing what's easy and available. So helpful. And then from there too, planning meals ahead of time. So as you're planning your meals, you're more likely to have those foods that are going to support your goals and make you feel better versus grabbing what's easy and available that may not leave us feeling the best later. And really just slowing down, noticing colors, flavors, textures of food. So fabulous, being present and conscious of decisions around eating and pausing and thinking what I am eating and why I am eating this food. So powerful and something that's so discounted. So really, essentially, mindful eating is paying attention to what we are eating on purpose, right? And really just slowing down and making eating more intentional and less automatic, which I think is really exactly the opposite of what this looks like so often in our days, that eating is just very automatic. It's like, okay, I need to check the box. I need to make sure I'm eating something to get the job done, right? Rather than saying, I'm going to make this a priority and make it intentional and make it something that's really going to make me feel good later in the day. And it's really going to set you up for success long-term for how you're going to feel later in the day. So when we start to pay attention to hunger and fullness cues our body is giving us, we can check in more and stop when we've had enough to eat. And babies do this already. So it's inherent to us. It's natural. Like when they're done eating, they're like, nope, I'm good, right? And they know. But what happens is that we've been conditioned for so many years to not listen to our own cues in our body, and we're so we feel and how we feel around hunger and just our overall awareness of ourselves and our emotional well-being. So this really helps to identify emotional or heart hunger, I like to call it, versus actual true physical hunger, and like checking in with yourself and identifying like, what am I feeling right now? Am I actually hungry, or am I needing something else to solve this problem? The digestive process is like this amazing, intricate process that happens in our body. And when we can understand this better, I think it allows us to appreciate what's happening and respect that more. So as your stomach actually fills with food, there's receptors that are activated, and the vagus nerve is what connects our stomach to our brain. And this is our parasympathetic system. So this is our rest and digest response that tells us, okay, slow down, we're digesting our food. So signals running up the vagus nerve from the gut to the brain affects our perception of hunger and fullness, and actually affects our mood and stress response as well. And then there's also the signal running from our gut to our brain from our brain to our gut, running downward from the vagus nerve. And this affects digestion, secretion of digestive enzymes, and gut motility. So our digestive process actually starts happening before we even start eating our food. If we see food, if we smell food, our body starts to produce these digestive enzymes and starts to get our gut moving of like, okay, this is what I need to get ready to be able to start doing. So when we are eating our food, our stomach sends these satiety signals, and then we also get this response of feeling the pleasure of eating from feeling the serotonin and dopamine response from the neurotransmitters up to our brain. So it does feel good to eat. And I think people are like, oh my gosh, it's like food feels like these foods feel good. It's like, yeah, it does. Our brains are built for survival. Our bodies are built for survival. So we need nutrition and calories to run our body effectively. So our body's like, yes, this feels good when I'm eating, but we also need to be able to, stop when we've had enough so we're not overeating to that point. So, if weight loss is your goal or not, this can be utilized towards that so we're not feeling over the point of full and eating more than our body's actually needing in that moment. So this process can actually take almost 20 minutes average to happen. There's a lot of crosstalk that's happening between our gut and our brain and these feelings involved. So if we're eating our meals too quickly and not waiting for this response to happen, we can not feel full yet and continue to eat when actually we've had enough to eat. So slowing down and taking more time for your meal can make you feel satisfied really with less food, right? So this is just what I want you to start thinking about each day. We're going to focus on a different skill and tip that you can incorporate into your day. The first step that I'm always working on with my nutrition clients is building awareness around what you're doing now, right? What are our habits and our behaviors that we're doing now? And how can we focus on a couple things that we can do to change one or two things to allow us to move forward in the direction that we're going? So today, or Wednesday, the first day that we're kicking this off, I'm going to post a box and it's awareness is the first step. So your homework for Wednesday is what I want you to do is identify how you're eating most often. So I want you to either do one meal or you can do 3 meals if you want to do breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and write down breakfast, sitting at my desk on the computer, or lunch, same thing, maybe driving, or dinner in front of the TV, or just where you are eating and how you're eating most often. And just recognize, are you distracted maybe most of the time during these meals? Are you eating very quickly? Just acknowledge, like, one meal, how are you eating that meal? You can post a picture if you would like to, or you can just write this out. So what we're focusing on here in the challenge is the more comments that you make each day, the more you're engaging, the more points that you're getting. So each time you comment, you're getting a point. And then from there, we are going to draw names. So whoever engages gets points, and whoever gets the most points wins, or I'll draw names and that person will receive a free gift from Beauty Counter. So this is just a great way that I thought to give yourself love this week. Sunday is Valentine's Day, and we are not taking these basic needs, these steps for basic needs for ourselves very often. We have kids and jobs and responsibilities, and we're discounting, nourishing and fueling our body so we can show up the best we can. So I thought this was a great way that we could focus on loving yourself by acknowledging, nourishing your body in a way that's going to make you feel your best, and then receiving a self-care gift as a result of doing that, right? So we get a reward that's not food related, but still going to make us feel good and take care of ourselves. So Beauty Counter is a great company. They do clean beauty products, and a couple of my clients sell it. It's wonderful. And I'm actually doing a Facebook Live in one of my client Marissa's group tomorrow on some weight loss tips in there. So she does some wonderful content on talking more about Beauty Counter products and the benefits of them. So I can link. She is over at Better Beauty with Riss, R-I-S-S, on Facebook. So I can add her there as well. She does some great stuff. But so this kicks off our mindful eating challenge Wednesday, tomorrow. Again, I wanted to do this video for you beforehand. So we're focusing on day 1, awareness. How are you eating most of your meals? Just paying attention to that. Comment below, and I'll be checking in with you more out throughout the week. Each day we're focusing on a different topic that I gave you under announcements. So this will just be a fun way to interact and have a conversation. It's so common that we are eating automatically and distracted. So you are not alone in feeling this way. If you do, it's just focusing on, okay, what can we do better? What can we improve upon to show up better for ourselves? So I hope you guys enjoy this challenge. I love your feedback as always, and I look forward to seeing you more this week. Have a good night.